Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for tonight. We have a 6-game preseason slate starting at 6:30, so let's get started. As always, I appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm recording this on my phone just for a little bit more convenience today. If you guys don't mind, I might do this more often during the regular season. It's basically the same kind of deal for me, but I hope you guys can still hear the audio and everything pretty solid. But let's get into it. The NBA season is starting officially in under a week. Next Tuesday, we have the first 2-game slate, and I'll have a big slate on Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to NBA. If you want to join us, you haven't decided yet, you can visit the website. Link is in the description. You can follow me on Twitter at the DFS Process for updates. If we get some major pieces of news on any of the NBA slates, I'll try to announce it on Twitter. And let's get started. So we already have a couple of teams resting a lot of their key players today. It's some of these teams' final preseason game. So on the Grizzlies side, you're not going to see any of the starters except for Brandon Clark, who probably won't even start in the regular season, but he's like one of their key reserves who's at least active today. So no Morant, no Jaren Jackson, no Steven Adams, no Dylan Brooks still. He's going to miss probably a couple of regular season games. And then Melton and Bane are both out. So Clark, Tillman are probably going to draw the start at the 4 and 5. You'll see maybe Contra draw the start at the 3. And then you could probably see like Culver draw the start at the shooting guard position, and maybe like Tim Frazier start at point guard, just as somewhat of an idea that I'm kind of guessing. So you might definitely want to get to at least 1 or 2 Grizzlies just because there's going to be a lot of opportunity for some of the cheap guys today. The Boston Celtics are another team. No Tatum, no Brown, no Marcus Smart today, no Al Horford. So you'll see Robert Williams draw the start at center. You'll see probably Penn Pritchard start at point guard. He looks appealing at that price tag. Langford should be in the starting lineup. Maybe Aaron Nesmith as well. So you have a couple of teams that you can jam in a couple of $4,000 players. So it's going to be easy to pay up for some of these studs on the slate. And I think that's exactly what I probably want to start to do. So on the Charlotte side, there's no Terry Rozier today, which means LaMelo Ball looks even better. He's balled out the preseason, almost had a triple-double the other game, getting pretty solid minutes here. And in this one, without Rozier, whatever sort of minutes that he's out there on the floor, he's just going to have the ball in his hands, going to be able to facilitate. We all know he's a great shooter, and he loves to shoot threes, which is always appealing for fantasy. And he can also grab you a good amount of rebounds just because he's a 6'6" point guard. At shooting guard, you have probably some cheap plays that I'm kind of looking at the bottom. You can look to some of the value on the Boston and the Grizzlies teams. You also have Josh Giddy, the 6th overall pick from the Thunder, who's been balling out this preseason, and he's probably small forward eligible. We'll get to him, but he's been balling out this preseason. He looks appealing at his price tag. But right now, besides like the Celtics and the Grizzlies at the position here, you can look to like Jalen Suggs, who they have Suggs, they have Hampton here. They also still have Cole Anthony. Some of those guys split some time at the point guard / shooting guard position, but I feel like 1 or 2 of them will have a decent game. You have Dort here at 51, potential option. Josh Jackson, he's going to get some opportunity without Cade Cunningham. Right now, James Bouknight maybe jumps into the starting lineup in place of Rozier. That would be interesting. But for me, I'll go probably right now all the way at the bottom and just plug in Jarrett Culver just as a guy that is going to get a good run tonight. He was a first-round pick a couple years ago, high overall pick. He just hasn't really panned out when he was with the Timberwolves and now with the Grizzlies. He doesn't have a lot of opportunity, but today he has a chance to make some impact just without some of the starters out there, or most of the starters out there. At small forward, you have $8,200 for RJ Barrett. I definitely cannot pay that much for him. I'm looking probably go down here for maybe Nwora, who's played very well, but he played really good when they were without Giannis and Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday when he was getting a lot of run and a lot of usage. But now that those guys are going to play today, not the easiest matchup against Utah, I think there's some better options. So Bridges looks appealing without Rozier, maybe a little bit more usage for him. But Josh Giddey is the guy I want to plug in. He's only $5,800. He starts here. He plays good minutes. They're letting him just play huge minutes in the preseason. He played 29, usually playing high 20s, low 30s. And solid young player. He's getting his taste of the NBA action, and I think at 58, I feel confident that he's going to drop value. Power forward, you have a ton of options here. Giannis is 89. He looks solid. Sabonis, they don't have Brogdon today. Brogdon and LeVert are out, so Sabonis will get good usage at that price tag. And then you're looking at some of the cheap plays here, like Wendell Carter. They started Carter and Bamba. Bamba's been awesome in the preseason. I've been playing him a ton. His price tag did jump, but I would still like to get to Bamba if I could over Carter. And the low 5K range, you have Brennan Clark, who looks fine if you wanted to play him at this price tag. In the 4K range, you might see like Brissett play a little bit more today, but they still have a lot of options on the Pacers. They still have a huge and a very deep roster for the preseason. But probably at the bottom, maybe you can throw in some of these just cheap guys depending on if they're starting or not. Like on the Celtics side, you have Jabari Parker, Grant Williams. You probably would expect Grant Williams to start in place of Tatum at $4,000. Over at center, it's a spot where I want to pay up here when you have Jokic and Giannis, both center eligible. You still have Sabonis in here. Mo Bamba has been crushing in the preseason, double-double machine. He had 5 blocks the other game. He's 73. Robert Williams, you matched up on him. I think Bamba can still take it to Robert Williams. He's still a good defender, but I feel like he has a size advantage over anybody. But I will look to get to Jokic today at 91. At the guard spot, you have Luka's only $8,800. If you wanted to pay for anybody above $8,000, it would have to be Luka, Doncic, and Jokic for me. Might as well grab both of them, and you still get LaMelo Ball. So I love getting to those 3 studs in particular, and then plugging in some of the cheap value plays that we already know are going to have the opportunity to produce, like Jared Culver. And then all the way at the bottom at the utility spot, Penn Pritchard at only 48 is going to get good minutes at the point guard position. We've already seen him produce last season, and now this year, well, at least today, he's going to get opportunity against a poor Magic defense. So these are the 6 players right now I got locked into my lineup. Let's jump over to FanDuel. All right, so on FanDuel, it's a completely different story, and everybody's the same price tag, basically. You can play whoever you want. At the point guard spot, you have Kemba at $6,000. He's like one of the true studs that is playing tonight. You have Cole Anthony at the position. Cole Anthony is $6,000. Scroll down a little bit. A bunch of guys out. I would probably still like to maybe get to Penn Pritchard if I could at $5,000. I just think he's going to get a lot of opportunity today with missing their stars. At shooting guard, it's like Chris Middleton is $6K. I still don't love playing some of these Bucks guys just because they went all the way last year. I don't think they're going to push them too much, especially with the regular season just like under a week away now. But Langford Willards are the start. He's $5,000. You have Jared Culver at $5,000. They will get good minutes. At the top end, you have like Barrett, Kemba at their respective price tags as true stud options that give you some upside. FanDuel, you just want to pay up for some of the studs. I feel like a stud, even in limited minutes, could outproduce some of these value plays. So if I could get to Kemba at $6,000, I would, and then probably plug in a cheaper play in the other spot. Small forward, it is probably one that I want to get to Josh Giddy. If I wanted to Giddy shooting guard eligible on FanDuel. But whatever Giddy is, I would like to get to him just because he plays so many minutes. So I'll probably play him at shooting guard. I like him. Probably my favorite cheap play to jam in. You can still go to Kemba on the other side if you wanted to, but definitely Giddy at that price tag. Well, not that it really matters, but Giddy given all the opportunity with being the 6th overall pick. He looks like a great option. Small forward, Celtics also without Josh Richardson, so just another value play that is going to open up on the Celtics side that we can look to. All the way here, if you keep scrolling, everybody's basically, you can make an argument for a lot of these value plays that are going to get a good run. I feel like Jared Culver makes some sense just because he's probably going to start. If he doesn't, actually, we'll just plug Giannis in. Like, why not? Get to Giannis, 6,000, whatever minutes he plays, he's going to produce. Power forward, try jamming another stud. Like Jokic is now power forward eligible, so we could play Jokic here. And then at center, we can probably get to Sabonis at $6,000 or Mo Bamba, who's been crushing at $6,000. So that's definitely fine. If you still love Penn Pritchard, but I would jam in Ball first. He would be the priority play. Where is LaMelo Ball? Oh, they don't have him on the slate. That's why The FanDuel slate starts at 7. They have 5 games starting at 7. But on FanDuel-wise, I would still get to Jokic, get to Giannis, get to Mo Bamba, probably at center. You have Robert Williams. That's a potential option that you could look to. Or like Julius Randle. But Bamba's been crushing in the preseason, and I think he'll crush again today. But that's it. Usually I've been playing a lot more on DraftKings in the preseason because FanDuel, the pricing is just annoying. But DraftKings-wise, I love this sort of build. So that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hit the like button if you did. Best of luck tonight, and I'll see you all next time.